And we so appreciate you coming out this morning to be here with us. Thank you very much. Could we have a nice round of applause for all these folks? We expect to have fun on this campaign. We expect to accomplish a lot. We expect to make British Columbia a better place. I would like to introduce Al Greer. Al is a councillor from Parksville, and Al is going to introduce our special person here this morning. So once again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I too would first like to welcome and thank everybody for coming today for this very important announcement. And before I get into the talking about our next premier here, just a reminder that to vote in this election, you might call it, I guess, you have to be a member of the Liberal Party. So we're selling memberships over at the table to the left. A young lady named Joan there is looking after everybody. And it's a $10 entry fee. So if you want to have something to say on the next premier, then you have to be a member. It is my privilege to introduce Ed Mayne as a candidate for the Liberal leadership. I have known Ed for the past 2 years, working under his guidance as a city councillor. We have become good friends. I support Ed for his leadership skills, his business knowledge, his honesty and integrity, something this province will need in the coming months and years. He is not a career politician, therefore giving this province a fresh start, new ideas and a vision for the future. Please give it up to our next Premier of British Columbia, Ed Mayne.
Thank you very much. Wow, not getting me pumped up. It's incredible. Good morning, and again, thank you for all attending today's announcement. First off, I'd like to thank the Beach Club Resort for making this venue available to us. And I'd also like to acknowledge that the resort is located on the traditional lands of the Snunnanas First Nations. If you don't think that's hard to say. And I would like to take just a minute to introduce a few people, some people that have become not just cohorts but good friends, the councillors that are here today. And I would like to, of course, Al Greer, we have Carrie Powell Davidson, we have Chris Berger at the back of the room hiding, and we have Mark Lefebvre over on this side. I think I've got everybody that came in from council. Thank you very much for taking the time to introduce me. Well, what I'm about to say is probably not a great surprise to anybody, considering all the media coverage that we've had over the last few days. But after careful consideration, I have decided to run for leadership of the BC Liberal Party. And the reason that I'm taking on this challenge is that I'm concerned, like I know many other British Columbians are, that the government has stopped listening to the people. I believe that if the Liberal Party wants to continue to lead our province and remain relevant and responsive to the needs of British Columbians, then our party must take action to influence change right now. Both the government in Victoria and the party are broken. We're mired in outdated political approaches that focus on party politics rather than the needs of British Columbia. We are in dire need of leadership renewal. With the right leadership in place, leadership that listens to and respects the views of its membership, we can win the next election. And if our province is going to reach its full potential, then we have to change the way we're doing business. Together, we can rebuild the party, regain the faith of British Columbians by demonstrating that we're committed to collaboration and informed leadership. My approach is going to be different. I'm the only candidate in this race that doesn't have formal ties to the government. We're hearing a lot of talk right now about collaboration and open governance, but I don't see it being practiced. And after this leadership race is over, we cannot return to the same tactics that are dividing us today. The Premier's office has to practice collaboration and consultation. And if I'm fortunate enough to become your leader, my main goal is going to be to reshape and transform the government to one of true representative democracy that will allow free votes in the legislature. Not just some of the time, but any time the vote is not a confidence vote. I will encourage the MLAs to vote the way their constituents want them to, not the way the Premier's office wants them to. I will also propose that a Premier's time in office be limited to 2 years, or 2 terms. 2 years may be a little bit short. 2 terms. I believe that this approach is necessary to ensure that we're always renewing our vision and re-energizing the efforts of our government. And if we're going to practice representative democracy, then I believe the voters have to do their share as well. We must look very seriously at implementing some sort of a voter tax credit that they receive for voting. We have to encourage more voter participation across this province. We need full voter participation in every provincial election. We need to get back to the business of running this great province of ours. Under the right leadership, British Columbia will always be the best place to live, not only in Canada, but around the world. But our party has lost its credibility with members and voters alike. And without that credibility and trust, we will never become the leaders in Canada. When I'm leader of this party, we will work hard together to win back the trust and the support of the people of British Columbia. We will lead the rest of Canada out of this economic downturn through collaboration, consultation, and involving the people that the government decisions affect. I'm an experienced leader, a successful businessman, and a good financial manager. I believe that I have the business acumen and leadership abilities, combined with a passion for this province, that is necessary to take our party to the next level. Politicians are always worried about the next election. Leaders are always worried about the next generation. I'm a leader. Let's give our children a better life by not playing politics with their future. Now my favorite subject, HST. First off, I support the implementation of HST. When the government has a shortfall in revenues, they only have 4 choices on where to get their money. They can raise income tax, they can implement a value-added tax such as HST, they can reduce services, or we can increase debt. Well, I don't know about you, but I think we've reduced services down below where they should be already. And I don't think it's fair for our children to inherit our debt. So that only leaves 2 choices, raising income tax or implementation of the HST. And I believe that the HST is the right choice. What has happened here, though, is that we created the problem during the implementation of HST. I don't think I've ever seen anything so botched in my life as the implementation of the HST. Lack of consultation with stakeholders, including the taxpayers, is what went wrong. Our party's credibility has been compromised. The people quit listening to us. Think about this. All but one of the leadership candidates sat around that table when HST was being proposed. A good leader would have said, "Whoa, stop, we've got a problem here." No one did. The decision on HST is now with the public. They will decide its fate. I do not support moving the date for the HST forward. I would like time to review the feasibility of changing the distribution of revenues from the HST. I'd like to consider 5% for the federal government, 5% for the province, and 2% to be given to the municipalities. This 2% could eliminate the other grants that the province is currently giving to all the municipalities across our province. This approach could be a way to continue infrastructure renewal, and it will also allow municipalities a better way to budget and to control property tax increases. Regardless, the people need time to be given time to understand the ramifications of any decision. They need the time to make an informed decision on whether they're for or against HST. So let's leave the date to September 24th. Any other choice for leader of this party at this time is going to open the door for an election result that we may not want to consider in 2013. Yes, I am new to provincial politics, but I have the ability to win the next election and give the BC Liberals the opportunity to earn back the trust and confidence of the voter. I believe it is a far better choice to invest in new ideas than to hook our wagons onto those individuals that were part of the reason that we're here today. Starting immediately after this press conference, and I mean immediately, within half an hour, we will be reaching out to the grassroots of this party in each and every riding across the province of ours. Together we can do this. Together we can show the world that BC is the best place to live, work, and play. My team and I, when we started on this trip about 3 or 4 months ago and started having the conversations, we decided that we were going to build a credible campaign that can win. I believe we're doing that. I will not make any promises during this campaign other than to bring back representative democracy to the people of BC, to work hard to bring the credibility back to Victoria, and to claim our rightful place as the leader amongst the Canadian provinces. Together, we can do this. Thank you. Okay, somebody wanted some questions. Yes?
You talk about restoring credibility to the BC government. Would you consider calling for a public inquiry to the BC rail issue?
How did I know that question would come up today? Yes, I would seriously consider that. If we had any indication that there was additional wrongdoings by anybody in the government, I would look at it. We have to put that to bed and get it behind us. You guys are going to let me off that easy, right? Okay. Thank you very much then.